Okay, picture this. You're driving, maybe heading home from work. All of a sudden, you hear it. That awful screech of tires, followed by the crunch of metal. A car's crashed right up ahead. What's your first instinct? It's to run, right? To help, to do something, to be a hero.
But what if I told you that acting on that gut instinct, that very human impulse, could be the absolute worst thing you could do? Seriously, that rushing in to pull someone from that wreck could cause a permanent, life-altering injury. I know, it sounds completely backward, doesn't it? Well, stick with me for a few minutes, because we're about to unpack a lesson that could literally save a life.
So let's get right into it. We're calling this the hero's dilemma. And it's exactly that, this awful conflict between our deep down desire to jump in and help and the very real danger that our help could cause irreversible harm. You know, first responders have a saying that just cuts right to the bone on this. It goes, "The injury happened during the accident. The disability happens during the rescue." Just let that sink in for a second. The crash, that causes the first injury. But it's so often the chaotic, well-meaning rescue attempt by someone like you or me that causes the permanent disability. Here's the thing we so often get wrong. We see the mangled car and we think the worst is over. But honestly, the most dangerous part of that whole ordeal might be just about to start. That simple act of trying to move someone, even with the best intentions in the world, is where a terrible situation can become a complete disaster. So what is this huge, hidden danger we keep talking about? Well, it all comes down to the single biggest risk in these scenarios, a catastrophic and totally invisible injury to the spine. If you take only one single thing away from this whole explainer, please let it be this: do not move the victim. High-speed collisions, car crashes, they put an unbelievable amount of force on the human body, and that force can easily cause tiny, hidden fractures in the spine that you would have no way of seeing. And here's why that's so incredibly dangerous. A vertebral fracture just means one of the bones in the spinal column is broken. Now, if that break is what they call unstable, even the slightest little tug or shifting them in their seat can cause that sharp, broken piece of bone to slice right through the spinal cord. And the result? It's instant, and it's permanent paralysis. Now, are there exceptions? Yes, but they are incredibly rare. You should only, and I mean only, try to move a victim if there is a bigger, more immediate threat to their life. We're talking about the car is actively on fire or it's sinking into water. That's it. In almost every other case, that car seat they're sitting in, it's actually working like a natural, life-saving brace. It's keeping their spine perfectly still. Okay, so far we've been focused on the victim, but maybe you're still thinking, I'd take that risk. I have to help. Well, hang on a second. There's another danger here, one that most people never, ever consider. A risk to you. When the adrenaline is pumping and everything is chaos, it's so easy to forget about your own safety. But you have to remember, an accident scene is basically a biohazard zone. There's often blood, other body fluids, and coming into direct contact with them can have some really serious consequences for your own health. Just think about what's at stake here for a moment. For the victim, the risk is a permanent disability. For you, the would-be rescuer, it could be a lifelong infection. Both of those outcomes are just devastating, and both can be avoided if you know what to do. And this isn't some theoretical thing. We are talking about serious, life-changing bloodborne diseases like hepatitis and even HIV. So the rule here is simple and it is non-negotiable. Always maintain a barrier. If you don't have proper medical gloves, you absolutely cannot have direct contact with any open wounds or fluids. Period. Your safety has to come first. I get it. I know what you're probably thinking right now. It just feels so wrong to just stand by while somebody is hurt. It feels useless, like you're doing nothing. So if you can't pull them out of the car and you can't even touch them without protection, what can you do? How can you actually be a hero in this situation? Well, don't go anywhere because the answer is way simpler and honestly, way more powerful than you think.
And this brings us to the most important part of this whole conversation. It's time to completely shift your mindset. You're not a rescuer, you're a protector. Your job isn't to pull them out, it's to protect them right where they are until the professionals can get there. So, what does being a protector actually look like? Well, it really just comes down to three simple, totally safe, and incredibly effective actions. You clear the area, you reassure the victim, and you call for help. Okay, let's walk through this checklist. First, take control of the scene. Tell the other onlookers to move back. This gives the victim some space, and more importantly, it clears a path for the ambulance. Next, if they're conscious, talk to them. Your calm voice is a lifeline in that moment. Tell them help is on the way, and gently but firmly encourage them to stay perfectly still. And finally, make that call. Dial your local emergency number, here it's 1990, and give them a clear, exact location. These actions make you the most important person there until help arrives. And that really gets to the core of it, doesn't it? Being a hero isn't always about some dramatic, physical action. Real courage is having the knowledge and the discipline to do what is right, not just what feels right in the heat of the moment. It's about providing comfort and providing safety. So, remember that question we started with? What if the most heroic thing you could do is nothing? Well, now we know the answer. It's not about doing nothing at all. It's about doing the right thing. It's about changing your role from a hands-on rescuer to a watchful, vigilant protector. And by doing that, you are giving that person the absolute best chance at a full recovery. Thank you so much for your time today. To keep building up your life-saving knowledge, we really hope you'll come back and visit us again here at King's Academy. We'd really love to hear your thoughts on this. Has this changed the way you might approach an accident scene? Let us know down in the comments. As always, we read every single one, and we'll reply as soon as we can. Stay safe out there.